Howdy Tamers, and welcome to LostinTranslationmon's BeatBreak coverage. This time we'll be covering Digimon BeatBreak episode 8, The Vanishing Classroom. I'm Kobias.
Hi, Kobias.
I think
I'm Gums.
I'm Gums. And I'm, as you can probably tell, joined by Guz. I'm unable to speak for some reason. I'm unable to pull together any amount of words. So that's fun.
Yeah, that's why I'm here, I guess, to take up the slack.
Absolutely baller. Anyway, so a quick synopsis of episode 8. So high-ranking students are going missing, and Hitomi asks Tomoro to help as her friend is also missing. Tomoro and Hitomi find the culprit. It's a Mimicmon who showed up because a student wanted to place first in the rankings and basically wished for all the other students to just disappear. The rest of Glowing Dawn spawn in to help. Mimicmon has been feeding on the missing student's e-pulse, which I have typoed as e-puss in my notes.
Whoa.
Apparently. Tomoro overloads Mimicmon with his e-pulse. The student who inadvertently caused the Mon of the Week says he wants to be the best so he can go to the Shangri-La egg. And it's all very ominous, as we've been basically saying about this ominous egg. Omelette egg. There's a pun in there somewhere. Anyway, discussions and decisions. What were our highlights for episode 8?
Rainer's snaggle teeth.
Oh, you mean the Genki girl tooth?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Is that seriously a highlight?
Yeah, that was my highlight, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, hey, yo, she got fangs. That's cool as heck.
Yeah, she's got the Genki girl, like, or like, I guess the tomboys also have it, I guess, but it is known for, like, in a lot of anime that the Genki girl has it, especially anime from, like, the 2010 era with the, you know, the Lucky Stars, sort of like that sort of time period, like the Genki girl fang was kind of a thing.
Yeah, no, I don't actually remember clocking it in the Rainer episode or any other way as, like, pronounced as what it was in this one.
It was definitely prominent.
Like,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Because I just like that, because we know she's like a street kid orphan, so just having that just sort of makes her look a little bit extra feral, especially with, you know, Wolvermon and all that. So it's really, really nice that they're kind of creating more, I guess, visual homogeneity between the Digimon partners and their tamers or cleaners or whatever it is this week.
Which actually reminds me of a point that I don't think I've really said before on the podcast, but I've definitely thought it when watching it. But because, like, Rainer's outfit is kind of like a similar design to Wolvermon, I'm wondering if she had that outfit before, and Wolvermon, because Digimon in this kind of adapt from their partner human's personality and they kind of, like, fit together nicely, if she actually, like, Wolvermon evolved to resemble Rainer and her outfit, or if Rainer changed her fit because of Wolvermon.
I don't think Rainer owns any other clothes. I think,
I mean,
it is an anime. They've all been wearing the same thing for, like, what, a month or so now?
I mean, that's the thing with the majority of cartoons, and that's why I really appreciated a cartoon that was on when I was a kid, The Weekenders.
One Piece?
No, well, and because in The Weekenders, like, I'm pretty sure it was The Weekenders, but instead of, like, having the same outfit every day, which you saw for every other single cartoon that was on, the kids actually wore different outfits in each, like, multiple outfits in an episode to signify that they've changed clothes. So I thought that was pretty cool, but yeah, it's anime logic of you only have one outfit and it's the outfit.
Yeah. I mean, I would love for Tomoro to not have Crocs, but we're getting there.
I remembered he wore Crocs, like, when they had, like, the full body shot, and every time I remember that he has Crocs, it just takes me out. I was like, it's just so unexpected. Like, I just keep on forgetting that bro just wears Crocs. Like, he doesn't even have them in like, speed mode.
No.
Yeah. Like, it's just so funny to me. Every single time I remember that he has Crocs, it's just like...
I mean, I get it. He's also poor. But like,
Poor
come on, man.
I mean, it makes sense
Just
because
steal someone else's shoes, man.
Because there's
We've all
so much
been there.
water around, it makes sense that he's wearing Crocs, I guess. But like,
I mean, we're not really here for a footwear discussion. I guess that's for a different kind of channel.
Yeah. That's for Lost in Translation feet.
Yeah,
Lost in Feetlation feet in Translation.
You can keep trying there, bud. I cannot save that.
Yeah, no, I'm just making it. I'm making the bad joke worse. Anyway, I do have some highlights. My first one being, I was so glad and relieved that Hitomi wasn't just a damsel in distress. Like, she wasn't just like, oh, we have to rescue Hitomi again, because that was something I was kind of worried about seeing the preview when for this episode last week. I was like, oh my gosh, are we just going to, is this just the rescue Hitomi show? But no, she actually went to Tomura and was like, hey, so you have like a monster and I got attacked by the monsters and now my friend is missing and I'm wondering if it's also because of the monsters. Like, she wasn't just there to be, she wasn't the damsel in distress. She was actually saying, hey, I've got a friend who is a damsel in distress, but I'm not. I want to save my friend. So really, really appreciative that she's not just existing to be like the plot device kind of in distress.
No, I think she's going to be an analog for the awakening of society, right? We meet Hitomi when she's like, I'm going to the Big Egg, I'm going to Shangri-La, baby, like, and all that, lock in, and then she gets attacked by Haimon. And then, she finds out about these monsters, right? She gets frozen, she gets all this, she starts seeing the government covering everything up. And I think this episode in particular does a lot of very subtle work with how effortlessly all these people are controlled by their devices. And I mean, obviously, we've seen in other episodes, these people, children, are raised with these AIs, just absolutely telling them what to do every single day, setting their own goals for them.
And that was like the kids who went like to the special seminar where all the high ranking kids were going. That was because their Sabotama was like, hey, you should go to this. And the kids just listened. They just listened to a random thing that came up on their phone. And they were like, well, that's fact. I have to do that then, I guess. Instead of like processing any thought, asking the school about it, like getting more information anywhere, they just saw what was reported to them from their phone and was like, well, that's a fact.
Yeah, it was unthinking compliance, which is obviously very dangerous, but also where we get Toma turning around and just being like, well, guess what? I'm doing my own thing. And they're obviously doing that with the catchphrase, follow your own beat, which is, a little bit on the nose, but whatever. It was really interesting because I think in this episode as well, we get shown quite a bit, right? Now, obviously, we spoke in the last one about the Black Galgamon being able to feed and get full very quick off of Kyo's e-pulse. And you and I had sort of chatted around that and ended up at the summation that stronger e-pulse does more. I think in this episode, we get that as a hard confirm, right? But what's also really interesting is that Gekkomon can handle it. I actually think just because of Toma's inherent glitchiness, Gekkomon's literally the only thing that can withstand his full power. And I think that's really, really fun to sort of explore that little area very subtly. We get the Ministry Man from the Egg in person, and he rolls up and he's like, no, we didn't want you to delete this one. We want to capture this one. So I'm immediately sus on that because they want to mimic.
Oh, they were very suspicious about it.
Crazy. Like, and Kyo's still having a nana nap. Love that. But, like, everything else is just sort of, like, it doesn't feel like it when you're, like, in the middle of the episode. But when you sort of sit down and digest and you're like, oh, yeah, then this happened, and then this, and then this, and then this. It's like, oh, wait. While I was off on the prediction for it being a 2-episoder, this one actually very gently sets up a lot of very important stakes, especially when we see Reina and little kid boy.
Makoto.
Like, they're just like, no, you can't fight the government, man.
Yeah,
straight up.
The hesitation in like Makoto's eyes, because Reina was like, "Hey, we have to give them the Sabotama," and Makoto like hesitated, like he questioned like internally. He still gave up the Sabotama like to the Ministry, but like he didn't want to. He looked scared. He looked like unsure. Like that was, like that was a pretty great moment. Just the how they were all reacting to the Ministry kind of being suspicious, and nobody really trusts them like in the Glowing Dawn, but they kind of have to.
I mean, they're your meal ticket. At some point, you kind of gotta, relent to that, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's also really great moment right where Toma enters the AV room, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, this he's been around the block a couple times now. He's been in a couple of Digimon scraps and fights and things of that nature. What's going to happen? And you see him slow down. Like, Hitomi runs in. You actually get a great little moment where he's canvassing the room. He's looking from left to right. He's trying to figure out what's going on before it happens. And I just think that's such a really nice, gentle way to show. This show is just so beautiful in its gentle subtleness. To just show these growth of these characters. Like, Toma's not Kyo. He's not running in there immediately knowing what's going on. He still needs Reina and Mikado to give him the extra information, to scan things, to understand what's going on. But, like, he's learning to take those beats and just take those moments to absorb all the information and then make a decision. It didn't quite work out for him, but, like, for episode 7, 8? 7? 8, yeah. Man, I'm always one behind somehow.
Which means that we have, like, officially beaten Gilmon's record of being the protag Digimon who took the longest to evolve, because Gilmon evolved for the first time in episode 8.
Okay.
So this is, like, as far as I can, like, immediately remember, this is the longest we've gone without seeing the quote-unquote Goggle Kid, their Digimon evolved for the first time. Because usually it's, like, in the first episode or, like, the second episode, but this is like, it beat Tamer's record.
Protags, Kyo and Reina were already able to digivolve, and I'm pretty sure we saw them in their ultimate and champion forms respectively in the first episode, so I'm guessing that technically doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, like, in terms of a Goggle Kid having an evolution.
Yeah. Still, I shared this with Kobe before, as well as some of my other mates, but I watched the first episode of Cross Wars, and oh my god, absolute mess of a show, first episode in. But, like, when you compare it to BeatBreak, I kind of want to officially renege my stance on why hasn't Gekkomon evolved already. Take your time, buddy, it's fine. Yeah. I'm happy to wait, because oh my god.
Yeah, because basically Cross Wars, and to some certain extent the original Digimon Adventure, you're learning so many new Digimon at the same time. You are not given, like, time to breathe. Like, you learn all these guys' names, and then those guys evolve to different guys, and you have to learn their names too. So at least in this one, like, we have been given new Digimon's names to remember, but we're not getting, like, 17 per episode. Like,
it's like, what in the ADHD, bro?
Yeah. Like, and Cross Wars does introduce a lot of new Digimon and a lot of new mechanics, because it's kind of trying to, like, do a bit of a reboot of the franchise and change it into something that's still Digimon, but is like a little bit different.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, I've spoken a lot about Cross Wars on the podcast, because I covered all of it and compared it with the English version as well. So if you want my thoughts on Cross Wars, you can listen to those, but I think it is...
Is there a playlist in the description below?
I guess I can... I know there is a playlist on the channel, but I guess I can link it in the description. By the way, I updated the link tree to include the Discord, and it was already in the description default, so yay. But yeah, I can add it. But overall, my opinions on Cross Wars, and I mentioned this to Guz earlier, is that it's just kind of okay. I feel like it is very much overhated as a season, and some people really love it, and that's great for them. They're allowed to, like, enjoy things. it's just an opinion. Everyone's allowed to like have one. It's not like it's not gonna like ruin my day if someone loves something that I don't like, or if someone doesn't like something I love. It's fine. I just think Cross Wars is just okay. It is kind of like, you know, it's kind of like there in the middle of my ranking. It's better than Adventure Colon and Frontier. Yay.
I'm sad to hear that, but that's okay. That was mostly because I was actually excited for Colin, which I still haven't seen.
Oh, but Colin's like the best thing about Colin is that one, it ended. Two, it was better than Frontier.
We were really going to try to not mention Frontier today too, weren't we?
We tried. I mean, we did well like last week until like it was mentioned in the comments, so I had to say Frontier. But yeah, I mean, yeah. My main problem with Adventure Cole. Oh my god, here's our first tangent of the evening. Is that you know in the original Adventure how Izzy is adopted? Like that's kind of like his like, you know, big character thing. Like he craves knowledge because there was something going on that he wasn't sure about, and he kind of overheard his parents talking about it, and there was kind of like questioning things, and that's why he has that thirst for knowledge.
I actually do not remember that at all.
Okay, well, Izzy is adopted.
Yeah, that's crazy because Izzy's like I love Tentomon.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's like, great. He's great.
I thought he was great. I thought Izzy was cool and everything, and now to sit here and realize I didn't know everything about Izzy makes me feel like an absolute fool.
Yeah. So it's okay because in Colin they also go back home to the real world, kind of like how they did that in the original, but they all kind of like, hey, so how are things at home? And Izzy goes, things at home, and that is the only mention that gets. That one small scene, he literally just says, things at home, and it never gets expanded on. That's like in episode like 20, I want to say, and out of like 60 episodes, never mentioned again. He gets no backstory, and a lot of the time the characters that aren't Taichi or Matt don't do anything, and sometimes Matt doesn't even get to do anything because Taichi's doing it.
Yeah, I think that was the problem with season 1. It was just kind of those two and everybody else was just there.
No, it's even more so.
But I mean, what are your highlights for this episode of BeatBreak?
BeatBreak. Sorry, I'm still mad about the Izzy's backstory. Anyway, so BeatBreak. My other highlight was the fact that we're going to still again have a non-battle resolution. I'm still enjoying that because again, it is still different from other seasons of Digimon where, and I know I say this week and week again, it is just, you know, make the attack bigger. Like, it's got different creative kind of ways to fix the problem. There's some problem solving, there's strategy. In this, it wasn't even a battle. Tomura was like, I just need to hold on to the Mimicmon's chain and use a bunch of my E-Pulse because he's not able to handle it. So I do appreciate that it's not always doing the same problem solving, but it's not just going to the solution of let's just fight more or fight better. I am enjoying it at the moment. I would like to see some actual battles one day, but for the moment, I'm at least enjoying how we're doing something creative. We're doing this creative, strategic problem solving.
Yeah, no, we're definitely going to be getting bigger battles down the line, but I think the creative problem solving also, at least in this episode, tends to go in with the world building and confirm things that may have felt unanswered in previous episodes.
Yeah.
So it's very clever in that regard that it's building on everything that came before. Yeah. I mean, I know the Pandamon with the gun thing, when they won that whole battle with Astamon, that was technically a bit of a wet fart because of the way the cliffhanger was handled.
Yeah.
But, like, it still did well to then give us more information about the world building because of how much Pandamon had to overexhaust themselves, and we realized that Digimon are also bombs, which is crazy.
Yeah, like, we're getting some lore as well as the creative problem solving. So it's kind of doing, like, two birds with one stone. It is defeating the Mon of the Week. Did I say two birds with one stone? Yeah, cool. I thought for some reason I said two rocks with one bird, which doesn't make sense.
It's two stones with one bird.
Two stones, one bird. I'm very bad at aiming. I got him in the end. Anyway, so yeah, we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. We're
In
doing
Minecraft.
we are defeating the Mon of the Week, and we are also learning something about the world. We're learning something about Tomoro. Yes, it's confirmed that his E-Pulse is just built different. Even before he was actively trying to put his E-Pulse in Mimicmon, he already was giving him more E-Pulse than anyone else was. So that confirms that kind of like, oh, Tomoro's E-Pulse is different, and to some extent, I guess maybe the rest of the cleaners of Glowing Dawn are. At least Kyo might be as well. Onto Kyo, I paid attention to the gym leaders in the opening, and like one of them does look like him, so I wonder if it's like his brother. Like that could be cool.
Maybe.
Like one of the one with long hair that looks kind of evil. They have the same color E-Pulse. Like it's both like that yellowy color, which I'm pretty sure that Kyo's was when we saw it.
Well, the Mimicmon cleaner, owner, whatever the bloody hell they were also yellow. I wonder what element that's going to tie into.
Could be metal.
Could be.
Yeah. But in any case, that was just something when I was on the tangent of Kyo, I was like, oh, yeah, I want to also mention that because otherwise I'll forget it because I haven't actually written it down in my notes. But
yeah, I also watched a bit more of the intro than what I normally do this time as well, just because I was getting some snacks ready, and it just sort of maybe dawned on me that maybe the AI aren't actually a central AI at all. Maybe they are actually Digimon that then get awakened by the emotions and the thoughts, which Long Live Zoro, the narrator, mentions at the start in the opening. Maybe there is this part that awakens within the human, which is then translated through their E-Pulse into the Sapatama, which then awakens the latent Digimon, which is being used as an AI within that Sapatama.
Yeah, I mean, that also happened in Digimon Savers. Like, the Digimon were coming to the real world because they were detecting, like, emotions of humans, and some Digimon were just kind of like, oh, that person, like, wants to steal some things. I also want to steal some things. So they would work together. And it was exactly, like, you can tell that the writers of BeatBreak and the writers of the Sabers are the same, because it was basically the same thing. Like, a Digimon would show up because it found someone who had, like, strong emotions about something, and they kind of, like, played into each other, like, as a sort of symbiotic relationship there. So, like...
a literally symbiotic relationship in BeatBreak.
Yeah. So... I definitely you need to watch you need to watch Savers. Like it is so much like BeatBreak, except the main character likes to punch everything.
I resonate with that deeply, and I am saddened that I cannot find it on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, it is tragic that it is not available on Crunchyroll. I have Data Squad on DVD because Madman released it when Madman, like, RIP, was still around. But yeah, it is definitely like I even say like the dub of Data Squad isn't that bad. Like it is just very good, and watching BeatBreak has also made me want to rewatch Data Squad or Savers because they feel very similar, but not in the way that like that I can't enjoy it. Like it's not like I'm saying I can't enjoy BeatBreak because it just feels like Savers but updated for 2025, like just 20 years in the future. Like it's definitely different from Savers, but there's the aspects that I loved from Savers that were done in Savers. They're doing again in BeatBreak, but it doesn't feel like they're just ripping themselves off, at least, which is good.
I think it's more of a build on.
Yeah, it's building on the same ideas.
Yeah, I love the cold heart thing. I like Digimon being able to feed on the inherent electric bioelectricity of humans or other living things, and potentially even each other. It adds a really nice horror element for Digimon Survive 2. Hint, hint.
Please, please. I love Survive so much. Like, oh my gosh.
I know. Oh god, it would go so hard. But like, BeatBreak feels like even though it's not ratings wise, it feels like a really cool maturation point for Digimon as a concept, overall, like it just feels like it's really building it out in this really well-rounded kind of way. And I don't know, man. Like I'm really a fan. After having gone back and watched a singular episode of a show I didn't really enjoy that still said Digimon on it, I really am grateful for everything that we have from BeatBreak right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I still think that it definitely has like a pretty good chance of even dethroning Atmon as my favorite. But it has to like stick the landing. Like Atmon.
Yeah, Toma has to change his shoes, and then we can.
I kind of like I kind of like the Crocs. Like I'm getting kind of like I'm getting used to them. Like it's unique. It is wacky. It kind of gives me like a little bit of a chuckle, a little bit of a giggle every time I see like the Crocs. I'm just like tee. Like it is just so unexpected.
You know, if he takes them off in one episode and throws them at an enemy to like stop them in the middle of one of their attacks. That's it. That's a 5 out of 5 episode. I'm saying it right now. He's just like, you leave him alone. Just throws it.
He gives them la chonkla, la crocla. He slaps him with a croc. Like bad Digimon.
Exactly. Oh my God. 5 stars automatically and don't care.
That is some like Masaru from Saber's energy of just like la chonkla. Like
yeah. I would. Bro, Zoro, right? Asuna, whatever it is.
Asuka, I think his name is, but Zoro. I knew
who you... Mon with a lead pipe, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Like...
He's Zoro, like, yeah.
Yeah, like, if I was Toma, I'd be running around with a lead pipe the entire time, just whacking as many Digimon as I could. I would... Yeah, no, I probably need to watch Data Squad.
Yes, you do. Yeah, it is my second favorite series, so it's kind of like one of those that I recommend a lot. Same with Atmon.
Yeah,
it is. Savers is also one that a lot of people did skip because I skipped it as a kid because I was a teenager because when it came out I was like 13 or 14, so I was in my I'm too cool for Digimon. I'm far too mature.
Comments, let us know about the gun show.
Oh no, I need to stop doing that. But no, I skipped Digimon Data Squad as a kid or teenager because I was like, nah, I'm too old for Digimon. I don't want to watch it. So like I just skipped it because I was like, nah. And then I watched it, I think when I was in uni, and I was like, oh, I was wrong to skip this. This is so good. But. Yeah, Saber's good.
There's no way, says the person with 1,001 Digimon collectibles behind them, is just like, you know what, I've grown out of Digimon.
I was 14 once. I think it's like, I was 14. I was like, I was edgy. I was like, no, I'm gonna scroll 4chan. I don't need to watch Digimon. I was like, I wanted to be edgy. I wanted to be cool. And then I was like, a few years later, I was like, nah. Though, to be fair, like, around the same time, I was like, I'm too old for Digimon. And I think I've told this story. I can't remember if I've told you this story, but it's like I tell it a lot. I was like watching like Frontier on like my parents' computer, I think, and my dad walks in, so I close it. And which as a 14-year-old, you walk into your 14-year-old's room and they immediately close something. You're like, that child is looking at something that they shouldn't.
Frontiers.
Yeah, instead of telling my dad, no, I was watching Digimon, I just didn't tell him. So he told me off. He gave me like the whole like, you're too young to look at porn. And I'm like, I didn't even argue. I was like, I'm too embarrassed to admit that I was watching Frontier as like a 14-year-old, that I was like, I'm just gonna let him think that I was doing what a normal 14-year-old would be doing, because I thought like, at least he probably thinks that I'm normal. But no, I was watching Frontier.
You're right, Dad, I'm sorry, I should stay off the hub.
Yeah, like, I was 14, I just thought, I just was too cool for Digimon for like a year, apparently, and then I got over it. But my gosh,
no,
BeatBreak.
I never grew out of my Pokemon kid phase.
Good.
As you could probably tell.
No, good. Live your truth. But anyway, do we have any other highlights? Because we have been on this point for 30 minutes. Whoopsies.
Because oh, I'm sorry. Did we like the thing we liked? Oh,
yeah. We're just too chuffed to talk about like Digimon. We're just having a good time. Like
I don't even really have any lowlights about this one.
I do have like it's not even a lowlight. I was like I should write something down. I should write a single lowlight. I wrote down like the rest of Glowing Dawn spawning in, them being there kind of did very little, but I think I might have written that like before like we got the moment where we have them all reacting to the ministry showing up, and I feel like that's why they kind of spawned in to join in on the battle despite not doing anything, because we got to see their reactions to the ministry being kind of like a little bit suspicious. So like that is like the only low light, but I don't think it even
I will
counts.
gently counter that by saying that I didn't mind them appearing because we had the moment with Sharky.
Yep.
Right? Where they were like, oh, okay, if this is happening at Toma's school, we should probably head over there and see what's going on. Right? Yeah. Whereas within the Pandemon episode, they were just still at the pub. We never got like a flash or a cut to them.
Yeah.
And they were just like, hey, I'm going to go look for Toma because this is ridiculous. It's taken him like half a day to find some meat skewers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That is true. Like that felt more of a random spawn in. This one, at least, they gave us the scene where they were like, this is where Tomoro goes to school. We should probably investigate that. So it made more sense, and they kind of like gave a reference to how they found out about it, at least, or how they got the exact location. Like, it's just a school. They know where he goes to school. Sorry, I'm taking off my slippers because I'm suddenly very, very warm. Because thank you, Melbourne. You were cold before, and now you're warm. And I'm not handling the spring. My hay fever is not so good either. So yes, I will conceive that you are correct in there. Like, at least they gave us a moment.
It's more of a gentle counter. Do you know what I mean? Like, I still agree that them jumping in and basically bailing Toma out every now and again, it's starting to, like, it's losing its impact for me.
Yep.
But that's also because, you know, I have to just accept that that's going to be part of the show. Like, this is a show about teamwork and family and all that. Of course they're going to be there and show up, you know? Like, not everybody's Saitama. And that's the point. But at the very least, I will say they gave us a crumb, or at least a thread there to allow the characters to be there this time.
Yep, because they needed to see the ministry.
I'll let you have it as a low light. Like, I'm not going to take that away from.
I barely counted it as a low light. It's just kind of like it's more a miscellaneous thought than a low light. It's just something that, like, if they hadn't have spawned for the Pandemon one, then I wouldn't even mention it. Like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it felt more genuine for them to be there because it was at his school, easily found, and they found out about the cases of the missing students. And then we also got them reacting to the ministry. We got to see Makoto kind of like hesitant to give up the Sabotama. Reina kind of like, look, we have to give it to them, like her reaction to it. Like, I guess that was more of why we had them there, to have them all react to that. But yeah, I don't think it's as much of a problem as it has been when they just kind of randomly spawn in and do very little, because nothing would have actually changed. Tomoro worked out on himself to do the E-Pulse thing. But yeah, I barely even counted as a low light, if I'm being honest. It's more of a miscellaneous thing, like, oh, they just kind of spawned in again, and I'm pretty sure they only did that just so we could have them react to the ministry at the end.
I would actually really like to see Mikado be unattached to Reina's hip in an episode.
Oh, he's like 8, like, he's just a baby.
I know, I get it, but like at the same time, it'd be really cool if him and Toma sort of like had their own little side quest where they could actually have a moment of bonding together.
Yeah.
I don't know, because him and Reina, Toma that is, have had a few episodes and moments where they've recognized each other's talents and strengths, and subtly or overtly, whatever. And that's been great. I kind of want a little bit more for him to be more well-rounded out. Because again, I still don't... We are 8 episodes deep. I still want there to be more of that connection before we get to the next big step. And it feels like we're getting some problems with the government stepping in now. And I mean, leading into the next episode.
Mm.
Ooh. But we'll wait for that section later.
Yeah. So, favorite character?
Ooh, you go first.
I actually picked Hitomi just because I was so relieved that she wasn't just showing up to be a damsel in distress. It was almost Makoto, but I was like, I'm gonna give it to Hitomi. Like, I gotta praise her.
Yeah, you can praise her like you should.
I almost said that, and I was like, "No, I'm not going to just break into song." But I'm really glad that you did.
I will.
It was all. I mean, obviously, the real favorite was Gekkomon, because it always is. Because he's like him crying, like, "Oh, I want to save Tomoro," was so cute. But again, it would just be me picking
globules of tears, the globs.
Yeah, the anime globs, the tear physics in BeatBreak is so good. So yeah, I can't pick Gekkomon every time. But who's your favorite?
And like the shining moment where he realizes Toma's alive.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh god,
I love it so much. So who's your favorite?
This is a hard one for me because
you can't pick Gekkomon.
I can't pick Gekkomon because Gekkomon for me is pretty much the standout clear favorite here. But I actually do want to say I think Toma is actually my favorite here because he's learning to use his e-pulse in more creative ways other than just here you go lizard.
Yeah.
I choose you kind of vibes. Like he's caring about others more so than just himself or his brother. He was actively trying to save someone else before he found the out. And he's getting more confident in and of himself, and he's more able to trust Gekkomon. I think Toma, for me, probably did a lot better in this episode, as well as like the quick moment that he had with Hitomi at the end, where it's just sort of like, you can choose to continue to be part of the system, go to school, in that particular conversation. But I can't do that anymore. That's not my place. And then he turns around and he joins the cleaners. And I think at the literal crossroads of the choice of submission to authority or slight renegade path, let's call it, he chooses what he knows to be true, what he knows to be right, where he's getting all these flashes of Kyo at Norinzo, he's getting the flash of the government, he's getting all these little flashback things. He's just like, no, before all I was doing was just fighting to survive with my brother and just sort of doing our best. Now there is something I actually can fight for, something that I do believe in, which is the dream of coexistence. Which is nice that he's picked that up from Ko and Kyo. So I think I have to give it to Toma. I think that there's just been a few little shades painted on him this time, which I think he needed.
Yeah, absolutely. I know what you're saying completely. As for rating out of 5, I'm not sure what I'm going to give this because I gave it like a rating and then like after watching it I thought about the episode more, and after talking about it and I'm kind of like I see it in like a new light, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna let you go first, and I'm just kind of like going to tweak my original rating.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why you don't really do podcasts with people who are indecisive.
Yeah, true.
But I want to manage my expectations. No, for me, I think because it did a lot that was very gentle, did a lot that was really, really nice, world building wise. I wouldn't call it a standout episode that's like a must watch, at least at this stage. So for me, it was definitely better than a 3. Way better than a 3, because that's just sort of like, this is an episode, right? Because it's the middle of the pack. For me, this is probably closer to 4, if not a 4, where it's like, yes, it was a good episode. We had some great moments, great character moments, really good animation, and creative puzzle solving, which built on the world. And we saw the mania out of that kid's eyes. He's going to be a problem later on as well. The Mimicmon owner.
Oh,
that guy's a problem.
Yeah, we didn't even mention that in, like, the highlights, but, yeah, absolutely, like, there was, like, I'm like,
I want to go to the egg, and Toba's like, yeah, bro, whatever, get scrambled. But, yeah, like, whatever that's going to end up becoming, because now, like, we're getting even more stake. It's not just high school girl wanted to go to Big Egg. It's now, like, people who are willing to kill,
they're quite frantic about it, like...
Yeah.
Yeah,
this
obsessive.
is a big deal.
Yeah.
Lives are nearly lost in the process of it. And Hitomi again nearly dies because woman cannot catch a break.
Yeah, she can't catch a break. But at least like it was more like of a sacrifice. She didn't just kind of fall over and go, "Oh, my ankle!" Like she actually was trying to save her friend.
Yeah, she stepped up a little bit. She got caught in the crossfire, but I can at least appreciate you stepping up.
Yeah. So what is your rating?
I'm thinking it's going to be around 4.
Yeah.
I'm just not entirely sure if it's like a 3.9 kind of situation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I getcha. So I originally, when I watched this episode, I put it as a 3.6, and then 10 minutes after I watched this episode, I updated it to like a 3.7. But now that we've spoken about it on the podcast, it is a 4.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely one that, like, you watch it and you're like, oh, that was a pretty decent, pretty good episode. And then, like, you remember certain aspects and what it means for the rest of the show. Like, presumably, it actually goes places, and they don't just completely drop like the Ministry and the Shangri-La egg, but it does tell you things like about the e-pulse that yes, Tomoro confirmed to have like sizably stronger e-pulse than just every other character basically, or just like, you know, the extras, the background characters. It shows you like the Shangri-La egg is such a big deal, like that somebody effectively wants to kill people in order to go to it.
Yeah.
And we've got the Ministry being kind of suspicious, which we kind of already said that like something's going on there.
Not kinda. They are fully sus.
Oh yeah, very very much so. So it's one of those like you think about it, and the more you think about it, you're kind of like, oh, the episode actually is pretty good. It's not just like, hey, that was a good episode, I enjoyed that, you know, good. Like it wasn't a waste of 20 minutes, and now you kind of like, oh, this answers some questions, but also like gives you more of those crumbs to enjoy like in the future. Like it, so it is a 4.
It's a slow burn. Because once you start letting those pieces settle and fall into place, that's when you go, oh, wait a minute, Mr. Postman, hey, yeah, what the hell is going on here?
That's a Vine reference.
Oh yeah, it is.
I miss you, Vine. Road work ahead.
We hardly knew her.
Viner, I hardly knew her. So yeah, you're going for a 3.9 or a 4?
I'm thinking it's like, because I'm torn between the 3.9 and 4 spot.
Yeah.
Like if we were, and I already said we only get 1 decimal place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like
that's fair.
I feel that right now it might as well just be a rounding error. So we might as well just go for the 4.
Yeah, that is fair. Which does mean that it has like a unique placing. So in terms of our overall ranking, it's in 4th place. So it's just behind episode 5, which was half and half because we both gave a 4.22. So even though like we were so hopeful for the second part, and it ended up not doing anything, which is a shame. But yeah, so
I mean, I maintain that was a great cliffhanger.
Oh
they
yeah, it was
sucked on the
great
follow up, but it was a great cliffhanger.
Yeah, absolutely. So on to Pondering, Postmon, and prediction. I just said Okay, Pondering, Postmon, and Pat and predictions. There we are, Mr. Word. I was like, that doesn't sound right once it came out of my mouth. First of all, there's something from me because I was like, I have to write this in the comments just so I reply to myself. But last episode, I was talking about how we have had some seasons where we get like 2 evolutions in the one episode, as in brand new evolutions, and I mentioned a few, but I couldn't remember one specific one that angered me, and so I wrote something I somehow forgot to mention in this recording, despite being a Sabers enjoyer, or the Sabers enjoyer that I wrote, is that Keenan / Akuto and Yoshi also had a combined evolution episode. I'm never going over that. So their evolution episode to, I can't remember if it was Mega or if it was to Burst Mode, but their first evolution episode was just the same episode. So that really annoys me that we didn't get, like, you know, the girl character to get her own episode where she shines on her own and she gets she gets the temporary evolution buff. She shares it with one of the other characters, like the kid character. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that because it's something that I didn't mention in the recording. So yay. We do have one from Guz that apologizes for the weird desync. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cloudflare was down Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So I used the DNS for Cloudflare as my alternate DNS at home. So I removed that, and all of a sudden my internet started working again. So that is fun. Anyway, on to the bits of the comments that aren't from either of us. Ignited Quills says that the episode definitely reminds them of how trainers in the Pokemon anime abandon their Pokemon, Black Galgamon not being able to control itself while starving and wishing to live, and then at the end wanting to die was devastating. And I absolutely agree there. And they were happy that it got to live after all, as it wasn't its fault. Yeah, I absolutely get that same vibe of what happens to the Digimon and the Pokemon that get kind of abandoned.
I adopt them. That's what happens to them.
Oh, yeah.
I find them. They are mine now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They then continue to say that they've seen a few people complain about the pacing, but they're fine so far as it slowly builds up the characters and the setting of BeatBreak, and Digimon Savers did the same thing. They also keep seeing trivia from the writer on the character traits of the protagonist, so they're still invested. But yeah, I like the pacing. I feel like it is giving us great crumbs through episode to episode. We're learning a little bit. We're not just getting a biscuit every 3 episodes. We're getting small crumbs kind of throughout the episodes, just small ones. So I actually like that.
It's like we have a chocolate chip cookie and we get a nibble every now and again, and sometimes we find one of them chocolate chips and we're like, ooh, yeah, that goes good.
Yeah. Next we have Magellan, who says that E-Pulse also seems to be power scaling factor alongside Evo stages, and yet that feels likely. Gekkomon's combat effectiveness is heightened when full on Tomoro's E-Pulse, so it's reasonable to assume starved Black Galgamon was nerfed, closing the gap between them and Gekkomon. Fingers crossed that Gekkomon's deck in the TCG is green-blue or pure blue, and yeah, I'm really hoping for it to not be purple! Please be green. Please. Next we have Bent Archer, who says 0 times Frontier naturally mentioned. In regards to Kyo, this definitely doesn't feel like the end of his mystery. Yeah, sorry, I think we made it 10 minutes without the Frontier mention this time. We'll endeavour to do better next time.
Mr. Man, ye did that, not me.
He was me.
Yeah,
Kugamon telling Kyo to trust his family seemed to imply something more than just the baby farm. So yeah, maybe one of the gym leader cleaners is Kyo's brother. That'd be interesting.
Possibly.
The return of that Punimon is going to fuel the fire of hope that we get possible return of a reformed Haimon. Yeah, I really hope that. It'd be nice if also it's if Hitomi does join the team as the character who shows up halfway through and becomes a chosen child, I hope her partner's Haimon. That'd be cool.
I don't know, because it'd have to reflect her, because obviously they're reflections of their owner. I don't think we have enough for Hitomi to be revealed for one of those kind of character traits at this stage, which is probably going to be the character trait that then allows her Digimon to then spawn, right?
Yeah.
So as for right now, as cool as it would be to have a reformed Haimon, maybe it's a gold Haimon or something and it looks more like a lion.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't see her being a slavering maniac. Maybe I'm the crazy one, but we'll see.
Yeah. Next they says they find it interesting that a government that seems so tech-dominated that their main team for handling Digimon are based off nature and elements. We've definitely hit the middle ground of the story and okay episodes, just gonna sit back and enjoy it. I hope the build-up is to a good payoff, and yeah, I really hope so too. I'm pretty hopeful that it continues to be this level of quality, because yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it because the same writers are on Savers, and I really loved that. I'm very hopeful. Next we have Lazy Croconaw with the One Piece Digimon Bingo.
Let's go.
Since Black Gekkomon is not on the page of voice actors, they'll have to use an old character for the One Piece Bingo, but this one is funny, so here it is. One of the Mushroom Gang, your favourite Guz, is Beepo.
What?
Yeah!
Which one?
It just says one of the Mushroom Gang. Oh, no, never mind. If you're wondering who, it's the one with the glasses. There we are. I should have just continued reading.
Let's go. I don't remember which one that is, but let's go.
Yeah. Mushroom Gang mention. Yay.
Thank you, Lazy Croconaw, my MVP.
Yeah. Definitely forever the MVP there. But yeah, I read, when I first, I try to, read, half read the comments just so I can react to them kind of genuinely. I read up to the Mushroom Gang part and yes, Guz will be happy. Then they continue to say, now about the episode, they liked it, and seeing Kyo having the dream of Digimon and human coexisting is cute. Let's see how far that dream goes. They're interested in where BeatBreak goes. They're hoping it does not fumble the fall. And yeah, that is my concern as well. That I'm hoping that it doesn't just fumble it. It doesn't have a just fall off after 10 episodes. It's my worry there.
I mean, they tripped. They've already tripped.
Yeah.
But it hasn't dropped all the way down, because even though the cliffhanger thing was bad, we did also get shirtless old man force feeding a panda.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, even on the worst episode, there's still something there to be enjoyed, which I think there is something measurable in that.
Yeah. Next we have Gold Star Supreme, who says about the 5 elements thing, air isn't actually an element there, instead they have wood. Also there's a 5th element in the Western version as well, Aether, but that one gets dropped for kind of obvious reasons. They also say that they loved seeing all the little babies in the episode, but what Kyo is doing just doesn't seem sustainable, even with the other members of Glowing Dawn helping out. Now, just because there's no kill rule doesn't necessitate that the amount of babies will just continue to grow for every job they take on. And yeah, I absolutely see your point there. It was... I would be surprised if it gets referenced, to become a problem. It just feels like it's kind of one of those nice background things. I'll be surprised if it gets a mention again, or
and
too much of a
right
mention.
On the money too, because no, the number of baby Digimon did in fact not increase, because the government came over and said that's mine.
Yeah, unless the government keep on doing suspicious things. They said also, I can't believe they forgot that they're really happy that Hitomi's coming back. It isn't just going to be their tutorial world building character. And yeah, I agree, and I'm glad that it wasn't just existing to just have the plot device sickness. Really appreciate that.
I also do appreciate the correction on the elements thing as well, because I'm not super well versed in it all, and I think you're right. I don't think it has air, because I think that's just cheat. That's an entirely separate thing.
Yeah,
but that's cool. Because I think they mentioned wood as one of the elements in Narinso as well, so that tracks a lot better.
Yeah. Next we have Johnny Melamed, who says that they think that Kyo will be revealed as one of the top 5 cleaners, or formerly one of them, and they say they keep on being drawn to his wristband. I'm just gonna do the prediction of his brother is one or something. He knows someone. Maybe he's a former one, but maybe his brother replaced him. Maybe his brother kicked him out. I don't know, but I feel like there is a connection to the cleaners with Kyo. I don't know.
Well, the gym leaders, yeah.
Yeah, the gym leaders. Next we have, if you watch the episode and see the opening again, they foreshadow Gekkomon's connection with the 5 stars, as we see the gold member is reaching his hand and then transitions to Gekkomon using the same hand snatching Asuka's Sabotama. That is interesting. Yeah. I did not notice that. That's kind of, I saw that comment and I was like, I should actually pay attention to the opening, and that's why I was like, that guy looks a little bit like Kyo to me. Just a smidge. That's actually why I paid more attention there. And lastly, because we got a lot of comments this week, which
hell yeah,
we thank you for that. We have Angel Squeaks, who says that their first thought seeing the trailer for next week was that we'll be excited to see Hitomi again, but then they realized that they were honestly genuinely surprised. This implies Tomura is going to school still. They kind of assumed he dropped out to be a cleaner. And yeah, I guess like that is true. Like it didn't even show him going to school, and he's not even wearing like the school uniform anyway.
Nor did he when we first met him. So
yeah, that is true.
But I don't think he is going to school, actually.
He has main character privilege of not having to wear the school uniform.
Oh God, I wish.
Yeah. They then say the trailer gives them a sense that Hitomi is fairly active in the episode, though, and they hope that she's already assumed Tomoro had a part in helping her recover. And yep, she did. She clocked onto that. So well done, Hitomi. Then they say also there's something a little funny to them about how Kugamon telling Kyo to trust his family and have them shoulder the burden when like literally no one else offers to feed the Digibabies. That is true. Even when Gekkomon directly puts an unfed Digimon in front of Breaking Dawn, they see Kyo get even more drained and go, wow, that sucks. Yeah, that is true. Like, no one, like...
Yeah, no, my immediate thought, if I was any of them, would be like, go rest, come here, kids, come have a nibble. I would have immediately jumped in and started offering my own e-pulse to that.
I'm actually surprised it didn't happen in this episode when they were like, oh, Gekkomon's passed out because he's like starved of e-pulse. And like, Reina and Makoto were like, oh, that sucks.
Like, I wonder if it is because of that link, right? Like, this is what I said about the Mimicmon earlier, where it could overconsume someone's e-pulse, but that doesn't mean that it's actually going to do anything. And then, we also saw with the Black Galgamon, if they consume just anyone's e-pulse, it doesn't guarantee that it's not going to make them not starving. So I think it's kind of playing that fast and loose right now, and I do agree that it sort of feels a bit odd that we as the audience don't have a concrete answer, because it feels like a plot hole. And it is a plot hole as far as I'm concerned, because it's wildly inconsistent until we get more answers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so excited. Like, it's one of those episodes where I'm like, I want it to be next week now so I can watch more. Like, which is good. Like, that's kind of how you want to feel. Like, you want to feel like, oh, I would like to watch more of this show. Like, I do like that. Speaking of next week, episode 9 is called Utopia. What are our thoughts and predictions about that?
Again, watch the preview, breaking my one rule.
Yeah.
At least it's not as bad as when Batman breaks his one rule. But I'm very excited to see us go up against, whatever's in the unscrambled egg in Shangri-La, because it looks like we are having a cleaning mission with a Shademon of all things. So that's already wildly exciting, because this will be my first time seeing Shademon in anime, because I didn't make it past the first episode of Cross Wars as of this recording.
Valid, yeah.
So what Shademon's going to be able to do for me is all going to be incredibly new, so that's very exciting for me, especially because I have used Shademon in the TCG for my Diaboromon and my Millenniumon decks respectively, so this actually kind of feels really fun, which is, it's nice. But like, Gekkomon being turned gold from food is going to be interesting. At least I think it was food. It was kind of curvy. It may have been poop. I don't know.
Let's go with food.
I'm going with food because I don't know why he'd have a straw for poop. But it's really interesting. They got golf ball wheels on their cars and things. It's going to be one of those episodes, I think, maybe, depending, watching it twice may actually prove to be better than watching it once, because this will be our first big look in at what's in the big egg. So watching it first, having the story, the understanding of what's going on, and then going through it slower on the second run to see all the hidden things in the background might actually prove pretty useful for getting more world-building information or more hints as to what's to come in the future.
Yeah, I like that. I also watch the preview. I typically do, but I don't like pay too much attention to it. I usually just have it on while I'm like making my notes for the podcast. But I did see a lot of Makoto in the preview, and I'm just like,
yes,
I hope we get to like that was my main takeaway. Like, please, can we learn more about him, because at the moment he's just kind of like the smart, brainy one who analyzes the situation and helps out. He feels more like support. I kind of want to know, like, he seems like, he's well dressed. Like, I mean, I'm not sure if that's a uniform or just like, rich people wear for the universe. I don't know. It seems like maybe a private school. Like, does he come from money? What's his backstory there? Is he an orphan like Reina? Does he have a family? Like, how traumatized is this 8-year-old having to fight monsters? Like, I hope we learn a little bit about him, even if it's just like a segment.
For an 8-year-old, he already has a fair bit of nerve going up against a lot of these Digimon, so like that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So I kind of hope that we get something to do with who he is as a character.
It feels that we may, but if we miss that, that's okay as well, because it feels like this may try to set up more about the egg. Maybe there's some side Mikado. I don't know, but like just because of the way that Mikado kind of is, maybe this is me just on my vibes. Like I feel that like Mikado's own episode would probably have a little bit less going on like that, or maybe this is exactly that, because I think even I was like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if he was like the son of a crime lord or whatever? Like there is something there that sort of emanates some prestige or pedigree.
Prestige or pedigree is kind of like the vibe that I get from him, but that just made me wonder, like, imagine if after, seeing the ministry being suspicious, he gets so suspicious of the ministry, he does some, like, his own investigation. Like, if he does some spy work, like, he tries to, like, look into the ministry, look into the big ominous egg, like, if he does something like that, like, I don't know, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, Gekkomon could be very interesting in that. It was also really nice to see that, just a strong enough Digimon can just knock back Paralyze Echo, because I was kind of getting a little annoyed with the stun locking of that, so I was glad that
that is true. Like, I was like, oh, Paralyze Echo didn't work, which is good, because like a lot of their creative problem solving has just been Paralyze Echo and then do something, and we've seen that a little bit.
Beat them in the head. It's just a JoJo beatdown. That's all it was.
So I'm glad that it wasn't just a case of we just do Paralyze Echo every week. So I guess that is another highlight, that like, oh, good, we didn't do that, which is cool when we see it, like, the first few times, and like we can't just do it every episode.
No.
But that is basically it for this week's episode. Do you have any other thoughts while I get up my notes that I got off the wrong notes apparently. Let's open the correct ones. Yeah, while I'm doing that, do you have any other thoughts?
I do have some thoughts. I have the thought that it was very funny. If you're a Patreon member, you would have already seen at the beginning of the episode, Kobias over here had a massive fluff at the beginning.
Yeah, I just could not talk. I would just like, I tried.
Needed to be edited out if you've made it this far into the show. So if you really want to see the raw, uncut footage of Lost in Translation Mon and further footage of this gun show over here.
Oh my god, I need to stop.
Consider joining the Patreon.
Yeah, thank you for the plug. And with that, so you can contact me and stay updated. You can leave me a comment on this episode on YouTube to join the conversation. And for a full list of ways to find the podcast across the internet, you can head over to my Linktree, which now does actually have the Discord in it. So it's linktr.ee/LostinTranslationmon. If you enjoy the podcast or videos or what have you, you can show support, as Guz just said, by signing up on Patreon. So that's exciting. And thank you to my current supporters on Patreon: Stephen Reeves, who is for an archive our own; Kadawashi; Neoboo, who says you should follow Chisai on Twitter at Chisai236. Why can I never say that one? I suck. Lizmet, who is Lekmon on Tumblr. Nicholas... Nicholas... Magnus, Lucas, Jason105, Patrick, Jason, Shelby, Digital Hazard, who's on Twitch at The Digital Hazard, Tropiumon, Vmon Tamer, Kasai, Big Bad Beetleborg, Flavin, Bent Archer, Cappy, Cyber, and Voltic Helberd. And I apologise if you can hear Mars going off in the background. I think she might be barking at Freya, because Freya is probably on the couch and Mars is not big enough to get on the couch, and she does not like that. So I apologise for that. So yeah, you can make a one donation on PayPal, which you found linked in the description. It's paypal.me/airdramon. You can also donate to me on my Ko-fi account, which is ko-fi.com/airdra. And of course, thank you so much for listening. If you are listening/watching this on YouTube, do the like, comment, subscribe thing. I've been Kobias, and I've been joined by Guz. Thank you so much for joining me once again, Guz the substitute.
Yes, no, it is great to have joined and to have been here. And if anybody wants to find me, you can find me on Twitter at Guz_substitute, and you'll find me pretty much exclusively commenting on Kobe's things and just basically gently harassing him. It's fun. You should try it too.
Please. I'll just talk literature at people. Like that's all my brain is at the moment, is just all the books that I've read. I cannot just enjoy things like a normal person. I have to just talk about them nonstop. But anyway, thank you so much for listening.
That's what normal people do.
But yes, thank you so much for listening and watching, etc., etc. And of course, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.